I'm talking today with Dr Thong Anh Tran, who's a research fellow at the University of Melbourne working on the project. So Thong, could you just begin by telling us what you're working on at the moment?
Yes, I'm a research fellow at this project at the moment, working for the University of Melbourne. And at the moment, because I just joined the project August last year, 2022, so for now I take the main responsibility to just analyze the data that comes out from the first activity, international experts interviews, and work on data analysis and try to get involved in brainstorming, the planning for the next activities, led by some other research members of the team, and also trying to bring things together into the journal articles to be published. So that's the main job that I'm working on at the moment.
And what have you learned from the project since you joined in August last year, which is influencing the activities you're working on right now?
I learned a lot. I learned from the project team and also the project itself. And so last year I had a chance to go to the field, and I got a chance to interact with the local farmers, where I can learn a lot, and that's contribute to improve my understanding of what's going on in the context of agriculture extension in Cambodia, as well as that shapes how influence the way that I contribute to the project. From the knowledge or insights that I learned from the field, also interacting with the local farmers or through the consultation with the project members, I think it's give me the chance to just open up, engage more deeply into the project, and hopefully we can make this better contribution to the project in the future.
So what are you planning over the next 12 months?
For now, I think is publishing papers is my key priority, and I think that I'm going to have a chance to collaborate with all of the project members to not only just publishing papers, also engage in kind of discussion or get involved in the field work and trying to engage myself deeply into the project. Also had given me a chance to understand further about the context of agriculture extension or agrarian transition in Cambodia. Of course, we're going to have the meeting in July. I can join the meeting and also interact with not only the members, the local people, also like the key partners operating in Cambodia to try to gain more understanding of what's going on there and how I can enhance my capacity to engage productively, contribute to the project.
And you were saying that you've been doing a lot of data analysis. Do you have any kind of key findings or insights to share from those activities that have been completed?
Sure. Drawing on the international expert interviews that we have accumulated so far, I think that I'm going to share because I think it's too much data, too many things to share, but I think it's just share with you some of the key insights that have come up with so far. One of the things I think is important to mention is like the sub-region of Mekong, and also in general in Cambodia in particular, we experience like the agrarian transitions, and that happens because under the new context of environment challenges like under climate change impacts or development impacts driven by the upstream hydropower development, that plays a kind of very huge implication for agriculture sector to change in order to adapt to the new context. And I think, for example, like extended droughts, they cause a lot of adverse impacts on local farmers. But I think is apart from the challenges, it also provides opportunities for farmers to keep learning and also nurture their thirst to develop or innovate the new agricultural practices in order to improve their income. That's the first one. The second thing is the new or emerging demands of the global and regional markets. There's a very fluctuation of the price of the markets, and also requires local governments as well as local farmers to adjust their farming practices towards like the production of high quality and high value agro products in order to satisfy the local market needs. And I think that's also the key insight I want to share. Another thing is like along the lines with what's going on farm, you see the prominent tendency of out-migration, and that's one of the key things, like because agricultural modernization and mechanization, and also the impacts of climate change, they dispossess the means of livelihoods of local farmers, especially the smallholder farmers and the poor, the landless farmers, and as a result, in order to sustain their livelihoods, they have to migrate. And this process brings forward the new challenging question is to, in terms of the social relations in the rural areas, like the question is who stays back and who migrates. And that impacts like, maybe you think about the future agriculture in Cambodia or as well as other countries. That's the challenge we have to deal with. One of the key findings is relevant to kind of the sufficient presence of agricultural extensionists on the ground. And part of the challenges with the couple of so far is like they encounter a number of challenges relevant to kind of the shortage of the resources, like access to credits, or the public extension, agricultural extensions, they kind of understaffed conditions, like they don't have enough extension practitioners to go to come different places. Another thing is like the capacity, the skills of extensionists is kind of limited. It's hard for them to deal with the new context of development that requires a higher skills of extensionists to deal with. And it also provides a chance to redefine or reconceptualization of agricultural extension in the way that goes beyond the traditional or the narrow boundaries of like how the knowledge transfer, or just like linear one-way knowledge transfer from extensionists to farmers. Because so far, evidence suggests that farmers had a chance to not only interact with the local agricultural extensionists, but also some other key stakeholders like the private sector, the company, or NGOs, where they can obtain or learn new knowledge, or even the agricultural input sellers. They also seek advice from them as well, and they can learn from them as well. So, yeah.
These are all really valuable insights. So we're looking forward to see the papers that are coming out from these activities.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Great.
Thank you so much for your time today, Tom.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.